Alright, you might remember talking a little bit about this when we were studying for our last quiz. We have something called exponential growth rate function, which is just really an A, which is your start, 1 plus whatever you're growing by, right? So if I had a 2% ratio that I'm growing by, 2% rate I'm growing by, it's going to be 1.02. And T is generally your time. So you can see it. Your growth factor is the base plus your rate, right? Growth rate, constant percent increase, and R is the decimal form. Alright. So, for example, Tony purchases a rare guitar for $2,000. That's going to be our A. It's your start value. Alright. Alright. Oh, in 2000 for 12,000. Yeah, I wrote that wrong. I should have a 12,000 here. There it is. There it is. Alright. Experts estimate its value would increase by 14% each year. So we're going to use the graph right here to find how long. So we want to know when f of t is equal to 60,000. That's what we want to know. And we're just going to use our calculator for this, right? So I've got the final calculation in here is if I grow by 14%, my ratio, my rate there is 1.14 to the t power. And we start at 12,000. We want to see how long it takes to get to 60,000. So what we do, something you're kind of familiar with, we take our equation and we set a line at 60,000 like that. We go on to the next one and say 12,000. Alright. Times, what do we say, 1.14? 1.14 raised to the x power. I'm going to kind of pull up on this a little bit and give us a good view of that. There it is. And then we're going to make sure our window covers it. I don't know how many years, so let's give us a few years. We're not going backwards in time, so x is going to be time. We'll go, I don't know, let's go to 15. I don't think it'll take anywhere near that long. Y minimum is 0. Let's go up to 70, 80,000. That way we'll be able to see that 60,000 line. So we're just making sure our range of outputs and inputs fit in there, and we graph. Here comes our 60,000 line. And we can see it starting to slope up, and it touches right there. So to find out how many years, we go second, calc, and we're going to go to intersect. Alright, you should do this and not just copy it, so you get used to doing it again. It's going to say first curve, which means we get it. It's not left, right, it's as close as we can every time. It's going to put us on the line, we say enter. Second curve, we say enter again. Third curve, and it takes about 12.3 years. So we're going to write that down here. So I'm going to say approximately, right, 12.3 years. Let's do one more. Alright. So he's saying, hey, at the same time he bought that $12,000 guitar, he also considered buying another guitar for $15,000. So we're going to say 15,000 is our start. He estimates this one would increase at 9%. So 1 plus my rate of 9%, if I put in 9%, would give me 1.09% T. Determine how many years after the two guitars are going to be worth the same price. Well, that makes sense, right? Because this one starts off higher, but grows slower. That one starts off lower and grows faster, so eventually they should cross. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to go to my y equals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first one out, and I'm going to type 15,000 in there. Alright, and this one I think we said grew at 1.9%, and we're going to put that to the x power. And let us see when these two things cross. Let's see if our current, oh, I should have raised it to the x power like that. So we'll see if we got enough up there to see them. So that's the second one, the 15,000, starting to arch up, and we have to go out further. We'll have to see. Here comes the next one. Ooh, they cross somewhere in there. Alright. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to change my window here. And let's change that. It happened pretty fast. I'm only going to go to 8. And it happened pretty low, so maybe I'll go 50,000. I think that's going to let me see a little bit more. Let's see what happens. There's the first one. Here comes the second one. And it looks like they cross right, I would guess, right in there. Let's do second, calc, intersect. And I'm going to get as close as I can. I'm going to guess in there somewhere. Maybe in there, and I guess. And it looks like they cross at about 4.97 years. So we're going to say approximately 4.97 years. And how much would they be worth? It looks like they'll be worth about $23,000. $23,000. That guy made good investments. Alright, I'm going to let you try this, and that will end up our 13.1s for now, and we'll talk on Monday.